Thinking about it. Ah, we're live.
Hello.
Yay! Yeah, we were a little late if you were trying to see us, but Chris has a new computer with a new webcam. That's why it took a little bit longer than normal. We had to change some
Yes.
settings, but she's
Sorry,
here.
guys.
Hi,
Sorry.
Chris. So happy to hear that you have a new laptop. You were wishing for one.
Yes. 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 I got the laptop from my family for my birthday.
When was your birthday?
Oh, in the 5th of October. It's a long time ago.
Oh, okay. I
2 months
was like, did
ago.
I forget? I didn't even know, by the way. So
No,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
You're okay. You are lucky.
So how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm very fine. Actually, a lot of things happened, but I'm very fine. Yeah, I
You
am.
want to share something? What happened? Or
Yes, I actually I had a beautiful meditation, and it's a meditation with a master, and I asked for uh, to get to know who am I, what is my what kind of energy am I, and who am I. um, as a person, I am not I'm not built to know. I need to be mirrored. I need to be somebody or whatever needs to tell me. So I asked in the meditation, and I get a chance to feel myself, my energy, myself, everything, and it was beautiful. Oh wow! And I already have, like I told you guys, I a lot of times I have dreams, and I don't know what happened last night, but I when I woke up, I felt completely different, and it was very strange. And at the beginning, I was like, what's going on? What happened to me? And I didn't, yeah, I felt someone else. And then during the day, I felt better and better and higher in the energy, and I was like, wow. And the writing is going very well, and yeah, I'm in Dutch we would say it. I will translate it. It's happy egg, a blij ei. It is.
it sounds better in Dutch, though.
So I am very very happy. Yes, and you.
Yeah, I'm good again. I had a tough week, very tough week. I had to say goodbye to someone that I love very dearly.
Oh.
So yeah, hopefully it's temporary, but I don't know. So yeah, I had a couple of days that I was like up, down, in between, crying, happy. So yeah, like a roller coaster again, but also with a lot of insight. So I'm very grateful that it happened because yeah, it taught me a lot of things that needed for me to that I needed to learn and see how things work, or at least for me work. So yeah, I'm a little today I'm good. I feel the first day today. Yesterday was already better, and today I'm like, yeah, I can do this. I can just go on, move on, and stay the course. And one biggest thing is that you only need yourself. You first you have all the answers yourself, and second, when you love yourself, you don't need anything from the outside to feel whole or to feel happy or to be abundant or whatever. And that was something that I thought about for a long time, but it was more still in my head. in my mind, and now it's more settling in myself. So that's a very good thing. So I'm very happy and grateful about that, because yeah, it opens up a lot of other perspectives how you look at things.
Yeah.
So, and you know, I'm always about all the perspectives in life, so I like new perspectives. So yeah, I'm embracing it, and also accepting that sometimes, you know, I feel a little blue. I know now that, you know, it's okay. You can feel blue and then just get out. You can step out of it also. And that was actually a very interesting thing that I witnessed last, I don't know, Friday or Saturday. I don't know anymore. I was waking up and I was so tired, and I didn't know exactly why, because I had been sleeping a lot. So I was like, why am I tired? Am I picking up? You know, sometimes I can pick it up from energies around me. So I was like, am I picking it up from somewhere or someone? And then I felt like, no, it isn't. You know, it's not external. So then my guides told me to grab one tarot card. So I grabbed the tarot card, and it was the Eight of Wands, or it's Eight of no, sorry, the Eight of Swords. And the tarot that I have, the Eight of Swords, is depicted with like eight swords in the ground, and there's this lady standing in between them, but none of the swords are touching her. You know, she's just standing there, and then there's someone standing on the outside. And the text said that, you know, you decide how you feel and you control how you feel. You can just step out of the circle of swords and feel better. And I was like, really, is it that simple? You know, like, and I was like, well, let's try. And so I said to myself, I'm not tired, I'm like energetic, I feel good. And you know, and then my mind was, no, you want to be, you know, you want to feel sad, and you want to be swallowing in your grief and in your hurt. And my, you know, my heart was saying, no, there's nothing on, you know, nothing is going on. You can just be happy, you can just be you, and just get out of it. So I just did that, and the rest of the day was great, actually. So yeah, what astonishes me every time is that we tend to make life so difficult, and we approach things so, you know, because it's from the mind. Everything is always a struggle, and it has to be difficult. It cannot be simple. You know, simplicity doesn't exist, because then it doesn't. That means that you didn't work hard enough or whatever. So yeah, and then again, something this simple, just change your attitude, change your mind, and just go the other way. So yeah, that was a nice thing to learn. What's happening?
I have no idea.
You see it too.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
with me,
well,
I think. I don't know.
we have a little interference.
I have no idea.
Maybe turn it off and on again. Not
Um,
just your webcam, you know, in the settings.
yeah, one moment. You are, I am actually, you can still hear me or not?
Yeah. We can still hear you.
Oh, that's great. Let me see. Yeah, settings, webcam. Yeah, there I am again. Oh,
Oh, well,
there I was again. What's happening?
in, is
It's,
it it is an external webcam, isn't it?
yeah,
So try, it is with a USB cable into your computer.
I think yes. Let me see. One
Wiggle it a
moment.
little bit, or
I can do everything now. You can't see me anyway.
no, exactly. But don't undress, because if if they decide to show you again, then it's a little bit too much.
Yeah, maybe I can put it out and put it in.
It says device is not connected, so I don't know if I can hear you now. Sorry, guys, technical difficulties. Yeah, sometimes that happens, and I don't think Mercury is in retrograde, so interesting that it happens right now. Well, let's see. Let's see. Apparently, we need to change the subject or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I just want to tell you. Maybe yeah, you need to experience how it is to be with you.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah.
this
Just be
is
alone.
ex- yeah, this is what I felt immediately when you started to when you mentioned it. I immediately it has nothing to do with your relationship. Everything has to do with you.
Yeah,
You need to experience to be with you.
yeah, exactly. That was actually what I found out myself too. But now you're freezing up. Oh yeah, there she is again. It's interesting because everything is new. So how maybe the software of the
It's a
webcam needs
new.
to be updated. Yeah, but maybe the driver from the
Yeah.
software, the driver from the webcam maybe needs to be like maybe there's a newer version of it. You can check it later.
I
We
don't
will
know.
see
I
what
have no.
happens.
It's okay now. Okay, it's okay now.
Well, you freeze occasionally, like
Oh, okay. Doesn't doesn't matter. Maybe it has to do with the new me. Oh.
yeah, well, maybe, yeah. Maybe you're radiating on such a frequency that, like, all the machines around you are like, what the hell? What's happening here? Well, okay, yeah, no, so getting back to that, yeah, that was something that I discovered that has everything to do with that. For both of us, by the way.
Mhm.
For him, it's the same. He needs to be on his own, focus on himself, focus on his health, focus on a lot of things that is in his world. And yeah, I need to do exactly the same thing. So yeah, that was interesting. And I had another. That was really a big epiphany for me, actually. If you want to hear. So one of the things is that everybody's always talking about having goals, setting goals, and all that kind of stuff. And for a long time, and that's one of my gifts also, is that I feel that something big is gonna happen in my life, but also like let's keep it at my life, in my life. And there's this growing anticipation for months now that I feel the energy is ramping up towards something. So I feel that everything is coming closer, coming closer. And
Feel the
the
same.
sorry,
I feel the same.
yeah. So the one of the challenges is to stay patient and just not to try to get it with my mind what it is about, but just trust the process and stay patient. Everything will reveal itself when it's time to be revealed. That's, by the way, not one of the biggest challenges I have because I'm not a very patient woman, so that's challenging in itself. But one of the things is that I get a lot of angel numbers. So, and a couple of times I had the angel number saying, okay, pursue your dreams, but set goals for yourself. And I was like, okay, interesting. I'm always a little bit reluctant to do that. I don't know exactly still why, but I'm always a little bit reluctant. But I was this time. I felt like, yeah, I feel that I can set some goals for myself. So I set some goals, and one of the goals was that I wanna be financially stable. And how that looks like for me is because I have an income, and I can do whatever I want. It's not that I'm poor or whatever. I can do whatever I want. But for me, financial stability is connected to being independently financially stable. So not being dependent on government things, or like an alimony, or I want to make my own money, and that that is, I want that to be enough to be like doing everything that I want to do in life and living here in Mexico. So that was the goal that I set for myself, like, okay, I want that. And I was working on my project about Find Love Your Way. And so then the separation happened with this guy. And one of the things for him, one of the biggest reasons that we are now not together, is that he needs to focus on financial stability and whatever. And so I was like, oh, that's funny. I'm exactly what actually looking for the same things, and I want to do the same things. And while I was, contemplating about that, I got another nudge to draw some cards. And so I was drawing the cards, and then all of a sudden, because of I don't know exactly anymore what the combination of cards was, and it doesn't really matter. But the thing that I all of a sudden saw was that I am already financially stable, and wanting to have it in another way, that's a materialistic approach of having a goal. So for me, what was really came clear is like, okay, you have now, you are stable, you have the finances in order, you have everything you need. So now it's time, and you have the space because of that to pursue why you are here spiritually, and follow that route, and all else will fall into place, because then you will get the abundance, or the wishes that you have in life, they will be granted. And that was for me like another perspective on being stable, and that you can sometimes have a different approach and a different angle and you work towards the same end goal in the end, but it's not something that you're focused on. Because in the other hand, I was focused on making money, making this, making doing stuff to make money, and whatever. And now all of a sudden, they said to me, ask yourself the question, how can you serve mankind? And when you look at my project in this case from the service perspective, the text change. I don't want to have any, I don't want to make money with it. I want it to be on donation based, because I want it to be available for everybody. And you know so the whole concept of the workshop, it's going to be online, by the way, I changed it. um, but the whole concept around it changed in a total different frequency, and it was way more with love. So it came from a place of love. It is about pure love. So that was a big epiphany for me, that people tend to look like, I want this, I want that, I want, but sometimes you already have things, and you want just more of it, or better of it. But what does that bring you? And that was the thing actually Monique said to me. She says, yeah, we always want more money, but in the end, it doesn't make us happier, or, it doesn't do anything that will really satisfy your soul. We want more like recognition, or more power, or whatever. And she says, every time you say you want more and more and more and more, you will never reach that goal, because when you're there, you want more. And when you're there, you want even more. So it is something that goes on and on and on, and you will never feel happy. So yeah, that was for me like, I always had the idea about myself that I wasn't like that. And then I got confronted with the fact that I was like that, like everybody else, wanting more and more and more and more, and being focused on the material side of everything instead of just saying, yeah, why am I here? And how can I serve instead of how can I make money? So, yeah, that was a big aha moment in my life. So, and it actually helped because everything started flowing, with ease, and you know how it works when you have those moments that the quarters, they fall, and then all of a sudden it's like, so yeah, that was a nice experience that I wanted to share because we can get so stuck in our minds about what we want, and we talked about it a couple of times in other talks. The longing for and the wanting things. Yeah, that's a big difference. But
But
I know.
what do you
Yeah,
what do you long for?
I long to serve mankind, actually. I long to bring change in the world. That's always been, I always felt that's why I'm here.
But don't you make a change in the world just by being you?
Yes, too, that too. But for me, it's also that I always felt that would be called for something bigger than only being me,
Mm-hmm.
and how that exactly will look like, I don't know. I really don't know, but what I still feel that very strong, and that's very deep inside of me that I feel that. I had a lot of soul searching and learning to do about being worthy, that because that was really attached like to the paradigm in my head that I'm not worthy to be like um, someone that people can learn from. Um, but I'm with the whole going inside, loving yourself, discovering that you don't need anybody, that you are on your own and that you can give it all to yourself. I'm also discovering that I am worthy, and that I can be what I'm supposed to be in this world. So, and with those realizations, and those are little tiny things that every time a little piece of the puzzle comes in the puzzle, and it's still not finished because I don't see the whole picture yet. But I'm good with that. I'm at peace with not knowing where it's going, and I'm really embracing and enjoying actually the journey, because it is actually very beautiful to have all those um, recognitions, yeah, quarters that fall into, and yeah, that's Dutch expression too, kwartjeval. In Dutch, you would say the quarter falls. What
Yeah.
I mean by it is that, well, yeah, it's the same as a puzzle piece. Every time you get a little puzzle piece, and then the picture gets clearer and clearer, but you're still not completely sure about the whole picture. And I'm loving the process. Um, I was always a little bit fighting. Well, I don't know if fighting is the right word. That there the impatience comes in again. I always wanted to know the picture, the whole picture, before I did something, before I took action, before I, would decide to go that way or that way. And I'm feeling more and more at ease with not knowing where I'm going and just really trusting my instincts, because for me, that's also my decision center. And trust that I will be led by the universe and the energy to where I need to be in that moment. So, yeah, that.
I have a question for you. How maybe um how was it with your childhood when you were young? Did you get the space to just discover what's going on, and or did you get, yeah, if you made mistakes, um, did you get punished or be ridiculed of? I'm just curious.
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of room for error.
No,
No,
and no,
no.
I can tell because it shows now, and this is maybe a little bit why the impatience comes across, because it leads to control. You want to get things into control. It's like a not self over one free. Yeah, I know it doesn't exist in human design, but I'm a creative talker, so for me it's like, especially the free. I have the free as well, and I know that, um, and I know more people with a free in the profile, and a lot of people are, yeah, are impatient or um, perfectionists, and a little bit in unease with going with the flow, because I don't know, I didn't do any research about it, but I am a person who knows. And I cannot, like I told before, I can only tell you guys what I feel and what I know, and it's up to other people to discover or to prove it what I say, and I don't need to prove it. But I have strongly the feeling that if if you would have had more space to discover what doesn't work and what does work, then the things at the moment would be in a whole other perspective.
Yeah, oh yeah, I believe that too. Yeah,
And it's not that you are a victim of this. This is not. You are here to learn
yeah.
what's not working. So this is actually a thing that doesn't work for you. So you just need the space for yourself. And I think you should give yourself now the space to discover, and to discover what works and what doesn't work. And don't punish yourself if you discover things that doesn't work, because uh, it will actually, at the end, it will brings you to the thing that does work. And also, what I feel is the whole thing what you were talking about earning money or things like that, just just let it be. Just because I also agree, I also feel that the thing what you were saying, that you only needs to be in service, and the money is not important, and but I think it does. But the whole system in the new world is different, so this is a gray area.
No, but I
And
didn't mean to say that that's for everybody. For me, in this moment, it is the conclusion for me, not for
yeah,
the
all
whole
right.
world.
Yeah, all right. But I want to, what I discovered for myself something, and I want to
Hmm.
express myself, if I may,
Of
if
course.
you are, yeah. What I had beautiful discussions with a guy. It's the husband of a very good friend of mine, and I love his way of thinking. He has the profile of 1-4, So he's the investigator, uh, people magnet, or some people say
Yeah,
opportunist.
I think people.
Anyway, um, he loves to talk about what he discovered. He loves to talk about what he investigated. And one time we were talking about this topic, and like because I for a long time I had, of course I have the same problem. Just want to I want to be in service, and I have a welfare from the government. I have money from the government. So from that point of view, I have a steady income. But I I want to be I want to be independent. I have the feeling that I'm dependent now, and I want to get loose. But I'm working in a very new kind of feeling and thinking in a new world. So in this system where we are living now, people like me, like alternative way of thinking, alternative way of doing therapy or whatever, is not very supported. So people like me and you, we are actually not very supported by the whole system, and we are kind of yeah uh, how can I put it into words? um, things are things are kind of uh, yeah the whole system doesn't make it easy for us, like to earn money at the moment, because because I don't know how it's in Mexico, but in the Netherlands, when people want to have therapy, alternative therapy, you needed to be registered, and you need to be in yeah, some kind of system. And I'm not, because I don't want to be, because I don't believe in that system. So so it's kind of a challenge to become independent on the way I want it. But somehow I believe that we all together have to support this. So we have to support the people who are trying to get alive and to get the energy from working in an alternative way. So we were talking about, because we were talking about volunteering work, and a lot of people like you and me, we do volunteer. We work for free, or so we work in a voluntary base, and it should stop, because if if we don't if we continue doing this, we hold ourselves small in the other world. So we still be dependent on. So if you want to reach your independency, we must we really must yeah, it's kind of sponsoring, but we must empower people. If you can, so if you can, if people can pay you, they should pay you, and they should pay you a decent amount of money, because only this, that way you can become independent, and we can start having another world, because we are still in between. The money issue is still there. Only from the moment when the money is completely gone, then it's possible. But we do need to be, so if people cannot afford it, of course, I would never say I'm not giving you, but it should be a balance. It should be in balance. And um, and also I have a client. Um, I have several clients, and they, like me, they have, like, they don't have a money tree. So it's kind of difficult if you really want the full uh, therapy. It costs you a lot of money, because it's not, you will not get it from the government.
Yeah,
But then I said, okay, start create the money, start create the money. And I seen some people did create the money to pay me. And of course, it's still not so much. And it's okay. I don't mind. But, and I was talking to this guy, and he said, the husband of my friend, he said, no, we should stop doing voluntary work. Work is work. You should get something from it, because we, the whole system is, um, yeah, it's kind of, uh, yeah, it is kind of, I don't want to say corrupt, because I don't believe in that, but it's not helping creating another world. And maybe I'm too abstract by telling you this, but I just wanted to tell you this, because I do feel that you are on the right track with your business and with your with your workshops. But we are still in between, and you need to find your way, your own way. But I would not say completely, like, um, get rid of the whole paying system. But
but that was not what I said.
no.
I do it for donations, so they need to donate.
Oh, you do it for donations. Yeah.
Donations. So, but there will be a minimum amount because I may cost to do stuff.
Oh yeah.
But like before, for example, the minimum donation is $5 for.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So there is a minimum because there needs to be an energy exchange, and then that's upfront. So they have to donate before they get in the workshop, and then in the end they get the opportunity when they have seen what the value is for them to, if they want to, do another
Yeah.
donation and make it more. So no, I'm not working for free. I have a
I
defined
know that.
ego. I have a defined ego center, and I tried that, and it literally has caused me heart attacks and whatever. So no, I'm not giving away my energy in that way anymore. Like you say, yeah, if there's no money anymore in the new world, then it changes, of course, completely. But no, I'm not giving away my time for free or my
Oh,
energy
that's
for
good.
free
Oh
because
yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, that's
Now
not
that
working
I
for
think
me.
I didn't understand you correctly, because I
Yeah.
thought you were saying that, okay, then
No, 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 no.
make
I
it
will,
great. I
I will
always do the
never.
same. Yeah, I do the. Also do that. Yeah, with
Yeah,
donations or
exactly.
just
Then everybody can see, what they have, available, and then it's accessible for everybody, even in the poorer countries,
yeah,
to get in. And I think this information is important enough to share, that it is an option for everyone. Almost everyone can get like $5, even if they maybe, like in Africa, they
yeah,
maybe need to
yeah,
save for
yeah,
2 weeks or 3 weeks, but it is a possibility.
yeah,
um, so, because yeah, I really believe very strongly in energy exchange. There needs to be an energy exchange, and I even did, and I also noticed that that works for me too sometimes. Is that okay? I will give you this, but then you do this and that for me.
yeah,
So there needs to be something reciprocal. I think the word is like, there needs to be something
yeah.
needs to come back, and that works for me, and that feels healthy also. Um, so yeah, but I liked your. I was curious where you were going, so that's why I just let you talk, because it's always interesting to hear another perspective. But you don't have really another perspective, because I believe exactly the same. But I do believe that, even though I choose the donation part, that I will, because it's the workshop, that's the donation part. The purpose paper reading, they just have to pay for the purpose paper reading. So, I have different angles to earn money. Um, but this was for me, yeah, that information is just too valuable. Uh, that too valuable in the sense that I don't want to, that only people with money can access it. That's that's the whole point of pure love, is that it is accessible for everybody. Pure love is about everybody. So yeah, but yeah, I'm also trying out a whole different way of promoting it. So I'm very curious how that will end up. It's a little bit like we talked about with YOUnique, more organically and stuff like that. But I will go one step further than that. That was something that my guides gave me. So I'm like, okay, if you give me that, then I will definitely try it out, see what happens. And I decided also to use the KISS method, and that's keep it stupid simple. Because before, what I would do if I had a new idea or a new plan or whatever, then I would first, that's the perfectionist. Well, that was the perfectionist in me. I don't have that as much anymore. But then I would first, complete everything in total before I would even tell people about it. And now I'm going to do it the other way around. I'm just starting with simple emails, and no platforms, no difficult things. Just like, here, you get an email every Sunday, and then the last week we have a Zoom. That's it. And that's copy paste, copy paste. I can do that easily. And then I will find out, okay, how is it rolling? And then I can see, okay, what can be automated, what can be made simpler, but I'm not doing it the other way around, because before I did every detail, and in the end, I didn't. Nothing happened. Really, nothing happened. And I'm like, I'm not gonna put that much energy and money, by the way, because you have to put a lot of money up front for those things. And I'm like, no, not gonna do that anymore. So we'll see what happens. It's an experiment. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually enjoying it now. I'm like, and I never expected that I would, but probably, um, because of the perfectionism, I was stuck, in my mind, and so I couldn't enjoy the process, because I was so focused on this needs to be perfect, that all needs to be perfect. So I was so focused on that I didn't have fun creating it. I didn't get energy from it. It was like, ugh. And now I'm embracing who I am, the 1-3, and experimenting. And now I see like, wow, it opens up that I can like enjoy the process and, be open to see what happens without thinking, oh, if this happened, I need to prepare this, and this, and this. And if that happens, maybe I need to prepare that, da, 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 da. And now I'm like, I don't need to prepare anything. If I need something, I will get it in the moment and I will hear what it is, or see what it is, or bump into what it is, and just trusting that. Oh, it's such a nice feeling.
Yeah, you liberated yourself from being punished if something went wrong.
Yeah.
And that's why you were doing your homework. I had to do this and this and this because maybe in past experiences you were punished
Oh,
for,
yeah.
for
Yeah.
doing things wrong.
Well, yeah, not only in my upbringing, also, the school system and the work system, you're not allowed to make mistakes. And if you make a mistake, you get scolded and or punished, or
Yep.
and yeah, I have a great example about that, by the way. I had like my mother, she hit me 3 times in my life. And yeah, pak slaag in Dutch. I don't know how you say that in
Spank.
English. Oh yeah, a big spanking, yeah. So one of the times was that, and she never did it out of anger, by the way. So I must tell that, because some people, they get angry and they smack their children. But she would be very, walk away and come back, and then I get the spanking, because then I would know you never do that again. And one of the things I did was that how old was I? I think I was like 7, maybe 8 years old, and I was living in Rotterdam, in Holland, and we lived in this old that's an old building from like the 1800s. With it's like the canal buildings in Amsterdam, but it was in Rotterdam. And so you had only stairs, there were no elevators or whatever. And I had the bedroom under the rooftop. And um, those rooftops, they have the big gutters, where the rain gets caught, or leaves or whatever, coming from the roof. So, but it was like this big, this wide, the gutter. So there was a pretty wide gutter, and I was like small still, and I'm very thin. And I had this neighbor, and she was a girl, and well, she was then 5 years old, so she was really way smaller than I was even. And I found a way, because we had those windows, you couldn't open the windows like this, but it was a window that had like a hook, and you could only open it for like this big, like zo'n klapuitraam, weet je wel, zo'n klapraam. And so it was like this small, but I was tiny and she was tiny. So I found a way to get myself through it with her, and we were sitting in the gutter, but it was like 3 floors up in the air. And I was having the day of my life. I was having so much fun, and I was enjoying myself, and I was talking with my neighbor. And then all of a sudden, I hear like really softly behind me, Mariska. And so I turn around, and my mother is on the other side of the window. And she's like, would you come here?
Yeah.
She was very calm. She was very, very
Yeah.
calm. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went back in. And then she said, then she got angry. She got really angry. She says, what you've done was so dangerous, you could have died. And but she says, I'm gonna give you a spanking for this, so you will remember this the rest of your life, and you will never do that again. So she went down. She got a clothespin, or how do you call the thing that you use for your
Oh,
clothing?
yeah. Um,
Cloth.
yeah, een hangertje.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's the thing, guys, that you use in a closet. If you know the word, let me know downstairs in the comments because I don't know.
One moment. One moment. I show you guys. This.
Yeah, I still don't know how it's called, but okay. So she got a wooden one, so it was made of wood,
Yeah.
and I had to lay down, and then I get a spanking like, whoa, as never before. So,
Oh,
and that is very, um, well, it stays with you. It's not something you will ever forget when that happens. So, and there were two other things that I, ventured out that she wasn't glad about. So that really drilled into me like, okay, it isn't okay to explore. Because for me, it was exploring. I wasn't
yeah.
aware that I was doing something bad or whatever. And I understand that parents need to, protect their children because this was very dangerous. So, I get
Yeah.
that she was mad and whatever. But for me as a child, it really, uh, yeah, it pushed my sense of adventuring
It was
out.
the wrong approach.
Yeah. And she didn't know better back then. Back then you
No,
didn't talk, you just did. And so I'm not resentful to her about it or whatever, but
no, but you,
it is for me. It did happen that I was, yeah, felt restricted in being myself because that's who I am. I'm an adventurer, and the funny thing is
and
that
not only
still
that,
is
you
there.
also are a manifester.
Yeah. Also,
You
yeah, yeah,
also have the
yeah,
manifesting energy,
yeah.
and manifesting energy types, they just do.
The yellow energy. Yeah.
She had to inform you. What she had to do if she wanted the right thing to happen first. First, she had to inform you that it was dangerous.
Oh, she did. She said that.
Yeah, yeah, but not punishing. Then she had to because when yeah, but I can understand because she was in her fear. I understand. Of course, I understand. She was not in her heart at the moment because she was going all over the place. It was, yeah, you see your child sitting in the, on the roof. And then, oh God. But what she really good, she did good. What she really did well was being very calm and just ask you. But yeah, I can imagine it's difficult to 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 understand what is the right way to do, to be, and to act when your child is doing that. But this is why I'm writing for children, because first, if your mother would have known that you have the manifesting energy type, then she would know that um, you uh, you wouldn't have any clue, you wouldn't have any knowledge about what you were doing. You were just doing. And it has nothing to do with good or bad. You were just doing. You were just you. And um,
But that's important, by the way. That's the distinction. She made me feel bad about what I did,
yeah,
and that's, I think, that's the key part in it. And the spanking, that was the punishment. So
yeah,
first I was made feel bad about
yeah,
being me, and then the
yeah,
second part I was punished
yeah,
also for being me.
yeah,
And what I would like to see parents do with, especially so the yellow energy field is, don't make them feel bad about themselves, because they are just who they are, and don't punish them. You can have a conversation and you can inform them, okay, you did this. Maybe you want to explain why you did it. Maybe you want to share with us, what was going through your mind, or what were you doing. What was your idea? Because for me, it was like, I'm playing. If she would have asked, I would have told her. So you can have a conversation with children. Children are
Yeah,
little adults. They are way more aware of things than actually adults are most of the time. So I would advocate, treat your child as a full human being itself, and just have a conversation about it if you want to try
she
to
should have.
understand, where it's coming from.
She should have shown you her heart. The, she was approaching you from her head, from the fear, and I can understand. But if you, and I'm writing about this because it's very important to have to be connected with your child, with everybody, of course. But I'm talking about children. When you really want your child to learn from this, she could have informed you what was going on inside of her as a mom. She could have told you like, oh, Mariska, I saw you there and I was so afraid and I was so scared. And so what you were doing scared me. So if then she wouldn't have tell you, she didn't, yeah, she wouldn't have, she didn't, if he said, if you put this into these words, you don't tell a child that it is doing something wrong. And there is something else, Mariska, I want to tell now, because you were on our age like 7, and we were talking about this before, but people have to realize that children, at that age, do not understand and do not have the distinction between uh, themselves and somebody else. So if if you do not make the distinction, if you do not inform in for the yellow energy field, inform, and I have the red energy field, so she should be in reaction for me. But anyway, um, if if they do not make the distinction between the child and the event, the child will be the event. So if the way she handled this, you were the event. You felt like I do something. Bless you. I do something wrong. The child thinks, oh, I think I did something wrong. But if the parent say you are doing something and I have a reaction, I was so afraid because I was afraid that you could could die because you need to learn cause and effect. So you can inform the child about the cause and effect. The cause is you were sitting there on a many meters and you could easily drop and be killed. This is the effect. Just tell the child this, and then the child can decide what to do. And they learn, and especially for you when they run free, you would have learned that you experienced something that was not quite handy and not very good to do, but you would experience that. And then she could say, what did you learn from it? Mommy, I learned from it that you are very afraid. So, and I love you very much, and I don't want you to be scared, and I don't want to die, and I want to live. So, I think my experience from this could be I'm better not do this again.
But now I'm gonna go a little bit further because actually what I really believe is that I knew nothing would happen because I'm instinctual. I will never do something on purpose
Yeah.
which could cause me to die. Because I will walk around or go another way, unknowingly why, but I just get guided that way. And I had that as a child for sure. And so that's an extra thing. And
Yeah.
that's, by the way, because I'm a splenic, but also I have a the gift of intuition. That's an extra one added to that. But also I have the gift of risk taking. So yeah, and so it was a combination of a lot of things coming together, and what I believe, that's why I definitely believe that it's very important for children, or well, actually for the parents to know the purpose paper of their child, because if you know that information, you could have handled it in a totally different way, then you could have also, uh, first of all, next to the fact how you deal with the whole issue that happened, but later on you could also encourage the child, to do certain stuff, to explore, and because then you are feeding who they are, and they get to know themselves, and by getting to know themselves they learn what is good for them and what isn't good for them. So if you know that as a parent, the whole, you can throw literal, I believe, that's a belief, that this is my belief, if parents know their children's purpose papers, you can throw all the handbooks of parenting out the window. You don't need them anymore because those are general. Those are like that. They are going from the assumption that every child is the same, and it just isn't. So those can all be thrown away, and you just have the purpose paper, well, in your book, to have a little bit more of an explanation and more in depth, how you can really use it as a tool. But yeah, that's what I believe. So that's what I wanted to share. I know it doesn't add maybe, but yeah, that's something that I always felt really strong with knowing the purpose paper. I'm like, yeah, it's like a guidebook, and all the other things you can just throw away. You don't need it anymore. You just don't need it anymore. But okay, do you want to add something to that, or because we are a little over an hour, so
No, I think it's for today. It's okay. Yeah, but it's like, but I share your thoughts because I really, really, guys, I really believe and I really believe in the necessity of knowing your child. Oh yeah, I want to add one more thing. Well, because one thing pops up. There's a distinction between the origin, what you really are as a human, as a being, and there's a personality. Personality, what I believe is a personality, is that thing, those things that made you, conditioned you, made the conditioning, or people told you. So that is not really the way you are, but it's like a mask. It's like a thing. So yeah, you can say my book and what you were talking about is the crucifixion of the personality. It is you don't need those things anymore because you can be completely pure and stay you, and all the other things which are only things that prevent you of being you, you can put them in a basket and you can lit them on fire and just go away. This is what I want to say. I just, it is so beautiful, and I experienced, like I told you in the beginning, I experienced from that meditation. I experienced the real origin of me, my energy, just that, and it was so sensational. And this is the only default that we can prevent our children from being far away from that feeling. That is my dream, and I think you share the dream as well.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, definitely share that dream. Let kids be themselves. If you let them grow
yeah,
up like that, they will act like that. I see that here in Mexico. People here in Mexico are way closer to their original selves than we in the West and in America and Canada and whatever. And I don't know. I think it has to do, with how they live here, because they have a school system, of course, but it is different than in our countries, and it's not frowned upon here. So it is not. If you want to do crazy, then they're like, they are cheering you on. You go, girl, or you go, guy. It's
mhm,
allowed to be yourself, and even if that's quirky or quirky in their, how they see it. Not that it is quirky per se. So there's way more acceptance of one another, and because the Mexican people, the real Mexican people that I met here, I'm astonished at how close they are to their designs. It's really
yeah,
amazing. Yeah, it is amazing. That's why I love it here. It's pure. You feel the purity of it, and that's an energy. You want to be in that energy. It's very attractive energy because they pull people in by being just themselves.
yeah,
So yeah, it has a lot to do with conditioning, with how we are brought up, what are we allowed, what aren't we allowed, what are we supposed to do or supposed to be. So yeah, and I believe the more native, yeah, in Mexico you also have the native Mexicans, that the Indians or the Aztecs and the Mayan people and whatever, they're still descendants of that. And I guess that they are really, like, really the people of nature, like the Aboriginals, and there's a
mm,
lot of countries that still have these, really native people that are really close to nature and themselves. I would actually love to hang out with those people to see and feel like, okay, what is it like to be around that energy? Because you will feel it in the energy. That's I'm 1,000% sure of that. That the energy would be only already like wow. But okay, we can go on and on and on forever. So let's leave it at that for today. Um, let's. What I what popped up in my mind was when you were talking about communicating with children. Um, I actually, there was something that I was like, that's maybe also an interesting subject about communicating with each other in a different way. So maybe next time or another time. But yeah, I think there's a lot of things that, through the purpose paper and knowing each other and or communicating in a different way with each other, that also, yeah, can bring a lot of things, or that you can see things from a different perspective. And I have a lot of experimenting with that through the last couple of weeks. And I see really big differences in the way I am communicating with people and how they react back to me because I'm changing how I communicate. So maybe that's a nice subject for another time.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Great.
everybody, thank you for staying tuned with us. Leave us a comment, like what did you like most about this talk today, or what was like what stood out for you, or maybe there was something in your childhood that you're like, interesting,
Yeah,
never thought of that. Share it with us in our comments down below. We see you next week. And yeah, thumbs up and subscribe if you want a notification when we go live. Bye bye. Thanks, Chris.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.